few years after Mr. Mott passed away, I thought, what am I going to do with this large home? I decided to have it opened as a memorial to my husband. He loved Applewood. He created Applewood. You cannot find homes anymore that can be built like this. You don't have the craftsmanship. You don't have the materials. It's preserving a real, beautiful place for others to enjoy. And it will be open, I hope, in a few years to the public, and then they can enjoy it as I have and others have all these years.
Charles Stewart Mott, philanthropist, industrialist, automotive pioneer, established Applewood in 1916. 65 acres in the heart of Flint, Michigan, provided the setting for this gracious family home and gentleman's farm. Mr. Mott's brother-in-law, Herbert Davis, and a team of architects from the New York firm of Davis, McGrath, and Kiesling designed a beautiful mansion in the Tudor style. The landscape architect was William Pitkin, Jr. An apple orchard could be seen from the building site, hence the name, Applewood. Work on the house, garage, and gatekeeper's cottage was begun in the spring of 1916. The projected cost, $72,100. Next came the building of the stables, garden walls, and tea house. The home was completed and the Mott family moved in within a year. The entrance hall leads to a gracious staircase and the family bedrooms upstairs, or directly ahead to the long gallery connecting the breakfast room, dining area, and living room. Large spaces along the north wall are used to display a variety of art pieces. The bust of Stewart, son of C.S. and Ruth Mott, was sculpted by his wife, artist Cappy Wells. A Tudor rose design is featured in the unusual plaster ceiling of the warm living room at the west end of the house. The paneling is English oak. The Kensington Company of Grand Rapids provided basic furnishings for the living room, dining room, and several bedrooms. By combining this furniture with antique Italian, English, and American pieces, an eclectic and inviting atmosphere is created. Among the fine paintings in this room are works by Goya, Halls, Rembrandt, Holbein, Remington, Homer, Corot, and Van Dyck. Charles Stewart Mott was the great-great-great-grandson and namesake of Colonel Charles Stewart. The colonel served on General George Washington's staff in the Revolutionary War. This sword, a gift to Colonel Stewart from his commander, George Washington, was not to be used in combat. It was suitable for parades and other formal occasions. Baron von Steuben, the Prussian soldier serving on George Washington's staff, was the original owner of this pair of flintlock pistols. After the American victory at Yorktown in 1781, American officers took turns entertaining captured British officers. Von Steuben lacked the money to entertain when his turn came, so he offered to sell his beautiful, faithful horse to Colonel Stewart for $1,000. The offer was refused. Instead, Colonel Stewart provided the required funds as a gift. In turn, the grateful Baron made these pistols a gift to Stewart. Almost 200 years later, Ruth Mott received a frantic telephone call from the teacher of 8-year-old Stuart Rawlings Mott. Stewart had brought the pistols to school for show and tell. The colonel received many gifts. Naval officer Robert Morris gave him this pair of miniature silver cannons, crafted in France in the 18th century. This handmade walnut cabinet is filled with porcelain sculptures. These were Christmas and anniversary gifts from members of the family. The work of Edward Marshall Beam is represented by a pair of pheasants, baby blue jay, bluebird, mockingbird, the wren, hummingbird over the cactus blossom, the peace rose, and a pair of owls. The large white dahlia, one of Mr. Mott's favorite flowers, is the work of Cebus. Ronald van Reichfeld is represented by the red hind with a delicate sea fan in coral, the exotic passion flowers, and the pale pink hibiscus. This pair of Lashley buntings perched on a flowering choke cherry tree is the work of the English sculptress, Dorothy Doughty. Among these small crystal objects are pieces by Steuben, Lalique, Wedgwood, and Costa. They include apples for Applewood. Lalique swans from France appear to be serenely gliding down a lake. It's easy to see why they are among Mrs. Mott's favorites. The sunroom off the terrace contributes light through its many windows and an air of relaxed informality through its collection of photographs and its furnishings. The dining room, scene of many luncheon and dinner parties, has windows on 3 sides through which guests may enjoy views of the terrace, pool, and lawn. An unusual feature in the basement, used by members of the family and their friends, is a 2-lane bowling alley. The breakfast room leads to a greenhouse and potting area. Fresh flowers, cut, arranged, and displayed each day, are a hallmark of Applewood. The greenhouse provides a covered walkway to a 4-stall garage and 2-bedroom caretaker's apartment. South of the greenhouse is a perennial garden. European in style, it includes an open tea house. flowers will be found at Applewood throughout the year. A solar greenhouse and dedicated staff assure a continuing supply. Ruth Mott has said that Applewood should provide a reflection of Mr. Mott, of the way he lived, his far-ranging interests and personal tastes, his commitment to the arts, horticulture, sports, education, health, and government. Applewood stands today as a memorial to a man, a family, and a time.